Before buying or selling a stock, you have to define what type of order you will be placing. Different order types will place certain rules on how your buy or sell order is executed. To understand how the order types work, we first need to understand that if we are going to buy a stock, we need to buy from someone who is selling. And if we are selling a stock, we need to sell to someone who is buying. If you wanted to purchase 2,000 shares of a particular stock at $7, there has to be sellers with 2,000 shares available to be sold to you at $7. If there is only 500 shares at $7, then you would only get filled 500 out of your 2,000 share order at $7. So you have to ask yourself, what is more important to you, getting all 2,000 shares filled or getting filled at the exact price you want? You may be thinking, well, I want both. Yes, I would love both too, but in fast-moving markets where prices and number of shares available are constantly changing every second, it becomes difficult to have both, which is why we would use different order types for different situations. Depending on the broker you choose, you may have many different order type options, but the most common are market orders, limit orders, stop loss orders, and stop limit orders. The market order is used when you care more about getting all your shares filled rather than the exact price you pay. When placing a market order, all you need to do is type in the number of shares you want and hit the buy button. Your broker will get you all the shares you specify while also attempting to get you the best possible price, but that price may not be what you were hoping for. Once you click that buy or sell button using a market order, your order will be executed immediately. Remember, since we are buyers, we have to get shares from someone who is selling. So from our previous example, let's say that you placed a market buy order for 2,000 shares, and at that exact moment, the current price was $7. You may be hoping to get all 2,000 shares filled at $7, but if the best price at that particular moment was $7 and there was only 500 shares available, you would get 500 shares at $7. But the rest of the shares may get filled at $7.01 or $7.02 because those are the next best prices that the shares are ready to be sold at. Your order will keep buying up all the shares available at each price level until all 2,000 shares are filled, causing you to have an average price, which may be over the $7 price that you were hoping for. When this happens, this is called price slippage. Slippage can be very dangerous if the price difference between each level is very large. This happens when stocks experience high volatility and are also less liquid, trading on low volume. So if we were trading these types of stocks, we need to eliminate as much slippage as possible. And the best way to eliminate slippage is to use a limit order. A limit order is used when you care more about the price rather than the number of shares you want. When placing a limit buy order, you would specify the number of shares you want, the price you want it for, and then hit the buy button. Your order will be queued up, but it will not execute until a seller is willing to sell you shares at the price you specified. Your broker will fill your shares at your specified price or better, but they cannot guarantee all the shares or even any of the shares will be filled at your specified price. Let's say that the current trading price of the stock is $7.60, and you only wanted to buy if the stock comes down and reaches $7. In this case, you would use a limit buy order set to $7. Your order will be sent to the trading floor, but it will not execute until the current price comes closer to $7 and that there is a seller willing to sell you shares at $7. Remember, since we are buyers, we have to purchase shares from someone who is selling. So from our previous example, let's say that you place a limit buy order for 2,000 shares at $7, and the current price at that exact moment is $7. You may be hoping to get filled all 2,000 shares at $7, but if there's only 500 shares available at $7, you are only going to get 500 shares out of your 2,000 share order, leaving you with a partially filled order. Unless more shares become available to be sold to you at $7, you will only get 500 shares out of your original 2,000 share order. Stops are used as protection from losing on a trade. A stop loss, often just called a stop, will turn your order into a market order once a trigger price is reached. To make this type of order, you would enter the number of shares and the price that you want a market order to be triggered. You can use stop orders for either buying or selling, but we'll use a sell stop order for our example. Let's say that you did acquire your full 2,000 share position at $7, but instead of the stock price going up as you planned, it goes down and is currently trading at $6.86. You have already decided that if the stock reaches $6.80, that you will take the loss and move on to another trade. By placing a stop-loss sell order at 680, your sell order will not execute until the price reaches 680, in which your order will turn into a market sell order. Notice that now we are selling our shares, we have to sell them to people that are willing to buy them. The best prices that are willing to be bought at this time is 500 shares at 680, 500 shares at 678, 1,000 shares at 677, and 400 shares at 675. So your broker will sell all the shares available at each price level until all 2,000 shares are filled. So you'll sell 500 shares at 680, you'll sell another 500 shares at 678, and then you'll sell the rest for 1,000 at 677, leaving you with the average fill price below the $6.80 that you were hoping for. Just like a stop loss, a stop limit will not execute until a trigger price is reached, but instead turn your order into a limit order. So just like the previous example, let's say that you were holding a position of 2,000 shares at $7, hoping that the stock price goes up, but it doesn't. It falls to $6.86. You have decided that if it goes below $6.80, then you want out and you will take the loss. By placing a stop limit order at 680, your order will not execute until 680 is reached. Since stop limits are limit orders, you are guaranteed the price but not the fill. So here is where it can get really dangerous using a stop limit order as protection. If the price drops quickly to 680, you may only get filled 500 shares out of your 2,000 share order. If the price continues to fall, you are stuck holding 1,500 shares because there is no one wanting to buy your shares at 680, leaving you with a partially filled order on a losing trade. Using stop limits as protection from a losing trade can be risky because of the chance of you not getting completely out or even you not getting filled at all. So I would not use stop limit orders as protection, and I'd rather take the risk of slippage from a market order instead. The only time I would use a stop limit order would be when buying a stock. A situation where you would use a stop limit buy order would be to purchase a stock using a limit order above the current trading price. If the current trading price was at $7.28 and we see it come into a major resistance level at $7.50, we could maybe predict that if it broke above that $7.50 level with lots of buying strength, then it would have potential to skyrocket. So maybe what we would want to do is place a limit buy order at $7.51 so that we can catch the break to the upside. If we were to place a regular limit buy order and set it to $7.51, our broker is going to give us the best possible price at that moment, which is currently $7.28, given that there's shares at that price. So we need to tell our broker, hey, we only want to buy this stock if it breaks over $7.51. So in this case, we would choose to use a stop limit buy order for 2,000 shares at $7.51. Now you can do this with stop loss buy orders as well, but keep in mind stop losses are market orders, which puts you at risk of slippage, and breakout spots such as this have a high degree of volatility, causing lots of slippage. Stocks can sometimes move very quickly. After entering into a trade, we could be needing to take profits seconds later, so it's important to eliminate as much time as possible having to type in orders. This is why I recommend using a broker that has the option to program hotkeys. Hotkeys allow you to program specific keys on your keyboard to place certain order types. For example, I have programmed Alt-V to buy 1,000 shares using a market order, and I've programmed Alt-D to sell my entire position using a limit order. I also have a hotkey to place a stop sell order 10 cents below my entry price. Depending on your broker, you can get really granular programming your hotkeys. You can pretty much program any order type with any number of shares at any price you want on any specific key you want. If I didn't have hotkeys, I would be late entering and exiting positions at the prices I wanted, so they are crucial when it comes to day trading. As always, I hope you all learned something. Thank you so much for watching.